Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit more shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets. And more specifically, guys, I want to continue discussing this bullish breakout on Bitcoin and where we think this is going to go for Bitcoin over the coming days and weeks. Because, guys, I think based on how Bitcoin is moving right now, there's a very good chance that the next couple of weeks for Bitcoin could be more bullish than anything we've seen in quite some time. Bitcoin's actually been trading sideways here for the better part of the last month or so, but because of the way Bitcoin is moving right now, that might actually be wrapping up. As we can see here, guys, Bitcoin broke bullish out of this rising wedge here, out of this rising triangle here. Actually, we broke bullish. Part of that was going on in yesterday's video, and we rallied all the way up here to right around $8,775 and change. And if you'll notice, this zone that we put on the chart in yesterday's video is almost exactly where Bitcoin topped out, just about $20 below the bottom of that zone that we drew right here, because we're testing the same resistance as we were back over here. Guys, we're going to be doing some technical analysis and some price predictions in today's video and try to get to the bottom of what exactly Bitcoin is doing and where Bitcoin is going, because I think the next couple of weeks for Bitcoin is going to be very bullish. We're going to be discussing all of that and more in today's video, guys, and we do also have some news relating to Binance, because Binance is going to be shutting down its platform to US traders. That's right, that's definitely some news we're going to want to dive on into. But guys, before we get on into it, I do want to remind you that we are still running that sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. We've had a ton of you guys join over the last week or so, and a ton more of you guys are probably going to continue joining because for some reason, you guys just never seem to stop joining the course. So many of you guys have joined. We've had around 600 members. I'll go ahead and flash that up on screen if I remember to do that during editing. And it's really just very humbling when you guys join the course. And I know you guys are getting a lot of value out of it. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you guys appreciate the content that you're getting. Everyone I talk to over email and through the comment sections and everything and on Discord, they all seem to be greatly enjoying the course. So if you want to check that out, links in the description. Use the coupon code JUNE2019 at checkout for 20% off. Anyway, guys, one more thing before we dive on into it. I did just buy a new 4K monitor in yesterday's video, and that is what this video is being recorded on. I can tell that it looks a little bit different on my recording software. I can't really tell, though, because I'm looking at a different monitor than I was before, so I'm not sure if that's just my monitor or if that's the video itself. Tell me in the comment section down below how the video looks, and if there's anything you think I ought to change, especially if you know a lot about video. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe I should change the setting. Anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into the technical analysis. All right, guys, well, what we saw here over the last couple of days was that Bitcoin was under a downtrend of resistance right here and above this uptrend of support. It was in a much longer term consolidation pattern, symmetrical triangle pattern, whatever you want to call it. All those terms would be correct and applicable. But Bitcoin actually formed this uptrend right here. And I noticed this and I mentioned this right before this breakout. I mean, I recorded a video like right here. It was 2 or 3 days ago, however long ago this video went out, 3 days ago, I guess. And like an hour after I recorded this video saying we're probably going to break bullish, boom, we broke bullish, and Bitcoin actually did it partially because of this uptrend right here. And Bitcoin has been following this uptrend for quite some time now, because after we broke bullish, we were able to redefine our uptrend of resistance like this and our uptrend of support like this, and we could see that Bitcoin really entered this kind of ascending triangle pattern, this symmetrical ascending triangle pattern. You can also draw the level of resistance like this, but like this also works as well. Both of these are really showing the exact same thing. And as we can see, over the last 24 to 48 hours or so, Bitcoin has broken bullish. Now, guys, this is very important because Bitcoin trading into an ascending triangle pattern like this, excuse me, not an ascending triangle pattern, a rising triangle pattern, a bullish facing triangle pattern, actually breaking bullish out of that's very bullish, because a lot of times you'll actually see a bearish break of something like this. So to see Bitcoin not only break bullish, but also break bullish with as much strength as it has is a very big deal. And as we can see, Bitcoin has come up here to test the exact same resistance that we were talking about in yesterday's video. That zone between $8,800 and $9,000 is going to be key for these next couple of weeks. If we drag this down to meet $8,800 exactly right there, then we'll see that Bitcoin rallied up to where we were drawing our level of resistance within about $20 of it. Very, very close. I'd like to see Bitcoin continue rallying and start getting up here into this zone right here. Because if we go ahead and bring up our VPVR, it becomes very, very obvious, guys, why exactly Bitcoin is getting resistance at this zone. As you can see, VPVR is honestly one of the strongest technical indicators in the few niche cases where it's actually important. And this is a time where it is actually very important. We do see an important zone of resistance up here between $8,800 and $9,000. But we're also seeing a very strong zone of resistance between $8,600 and $8,800 because there was all this trading going on over here. You can see this box right here on the VPVR is showing showing a crap ton of resistance over here because that's where Bitcoin did a lot of its trading. So the actual tops of the markets show resistance up here around $88,000 to $9,000, but the actual trading itself in these markets shows resistance right here where Bitcoin is currently trading around $8,700. As you can see, this red line that comes out of the VPVR, that's not a trend line. That is actually calculated by the VPVR. When you see the climax of the trading volume here on the volume per volume profile range, then you see where exactly the most trading has gone on is right here on this candlestick around $8,695. You can see that right there. And lo and behold, that is exactly where Bitcoin is getting resistance. That's why the VPVR is so strong, and that's why there is going to be a video coming to it relatively soon in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. I'm working on some other stuff right now, but that will be coming relatively soon. I've got a bunch of stuff going on in the background right now. But either way, that's one of the things I want to point out is one of the reasons why Bitcoin actually rejected about $100 lower than the beginning of this zone. It would be because of the VPVR. Always keep an eye on the VPVR. You do have to have a pro membership on TradingView to use VPVR, but guys, it's not very expensive and it is fully, well, and truly worth it. So if you guys don't have a pro version of TradingView, I do highly recommend you go ahead and get it. It's only like, I don't even know, I signed up for it so long ago, I forget. I think it's $15 a month. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, moving right along here, what does this mean for Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin going to reject here and actually get resistance here and fall over in exactly the same manner that we did over here? Or is Bitcoin going to manage to break through and break to the upside and go bullish once again and actually see Bitcoin see some more bullish price action come into the market? Which direction is Bitcoin headed now that it has topped out at this resistance level, up or down? Well, guys, there is one major difference that I want to point out between what Bitcoin was doing back over here when we tested this zone of between $88,000 to $9,000 and where Bitcoin is right now. Because as you guys know, there is this VPVR resistance sitting right around there. We'll go ahead and make that red so you can see it. This is right where that VPVR resistance is. But something interesting comes up if we look at our oscillators down here on the RSI. One, as you can see, Bitcoin currently finds itself in an uptrend on the RSI. Now, it's not a perfect uptrend. This is more kind of a zone uptrend. As you can see, we have some breaches of it. But Bitcoin is in general trending to the upside in a very strong way here on the 4-hourly RSI. Likewise, if we look at the 4-hourly RSI, I'd forgotten about this, but this is something I had mentioned in a video about a week and a half ago, 3 weeks ago, however long ago this was, the end of last month. When Bitcoin was coming up here and testing this zone of resistance, we actually saw some RSI divergence. We saw Bitcoin make one high and then another high, and then as we can see on the RSI down here on the 4-hourly, and I think this also showed up on the daily chart, I'll check here in just a second, we saw a downtrend of resistance on the RSI. And as you can see, as soon as that finished playing out, Bitcoin dove. Bitcoin dove right around 10%, 12%, depending on where you draw that. And then from there, Bitcoin wasn't really able to recover, and we fell over again. From there, Bitcoin continued trading sideways, and now we're bullish again. And that's one of the other things I want to point out, guys, is that Bitcoin has come up and tested this resistance zone. Again, if you go into the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, if you're in it, if you're not, like I said, links in the description. If you go down here to the Convergence of Support and Resistance video, because if you come in here to the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy and you check out the video on gauging the strength of support and resistance, in that video I talk about how important it is when levels of support and resistance are tested multiple times. We can see that Bitcoin has come up and tested this level and zone of resistance once, twice, 3 times, and now we're coming up and testing it a 4th time right over here. If you only see a level of resistance tested twice or 3 times, and then Bitcoin or another market doesn't go and test that level again, then that level's probably holding. That level's probably not going to be broken. But especially if you have a big gap of time like this, where we do right here, and Bitcoin falls down and then comes back up and tests this zone again, that's probably because the bulls are strong enough to get through it the second time, or even that they were strong enough to get through it the first time, but they just didn't. So I think there's a very strong argument to be made that just because Bitcoin has come up to this level of resistance again, that there's a pretty good chance that we could actually break through here simply because we've managed to have the strength to rally up here again. And that's one thing that I talk about in that video, and that's one thing that you guys know to be true, is that when a level of resistance is tested over and over and over and over and over and over again, normally there's going to be a break of that resistance. It's not being tested for no reason. It's being tested because the bulls in this case have the strength to go up and test it. And if they have the strength to test it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, don't you think that they might just have the strength to actually break through it? That's what we're looking at here, guys. And I think Bitcoin may reject off of this short term. Maybe we pull back a couple $100. But I think in the next couple of days anyway, maybe in the next couple of hours, who knows, Bitcoin is going to start breaking through some of this resistance and slowly moving its way all the way up to and through $9,000. Now, guys, there's a lot of resistance, especially on our VPVR, between $8,700 and $9,000 that we're going to have to get through. But after we get through $9,000, which at this point I think is probably what's most likely, likely, guys, the sky's the limit. $10,000 is well within reach, and we'll probably be trading up there just a couple of days after we break $9,000. I do mean that. Let me go ahead and bring the VPVR back up. Because like I said, guys, there's a whole lot of resistance sitting right here just around this zone in between $8,600 and $8,700. But we're already past half of it. Bitcoin just needs to rally a little bit higher. After we get to $8,800, a lot of this zone up here that I have is mainly just the tops over here, which is actually sometimes easier to get through than the actual bulk of the trading itself, which you see on the VPVR. So if Bitcoin does get through that, as you guys can see here, there is absolutely nothing on our VPVR sitting up here above $9,000. There's just nothing because there hasn't been any trading up there. There's literally nothing for the entire year. The last time Bitcoin was up here was nearly a year ago. Bitcoin hasn't been this high in a very long time. So if Bitcoin gets through $9,000, which I think there's a pretty good chance it will now, we're probably headed straight to $10,000, guys. And that is going to be a major level of resistance simply because of the dollar value that it sits at. $10,000 is a major psychological level. If you watch the video on math psychology in the course right down here, then you'll understand exactly why this is such an important level of resistance. When Bitcoin comes up here, we're probably going to reject straight off of it. That's going to be a very big level of resistance, but it very well may not be a permanent rejection. We might come up and test it again, but I doubt that we'll just break straight through it. Perhaps something like what happened at $6,000 will happen again, though. We don't really know quite yet. So guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to discuss as far as the technical analysis is concerned today. I think Bitcoin is very, very bullish, and I think the next couple of weeks for Bitcoin are going to look very, very good. It really depends on what Bitcoin does in relation to this $8,700 resistance right here. If we reject off of it, then who knows what's going to happen. We probably come down and test this uptrend of support once again and hopefully bounce off of it. But if Bitcoin does what I think it's going to and manages to break through, then we're probably headed to $10,000 in the next couple of weeks, guys. I think we're looking very bullish on Bitcoin. I think the short term and now the long term, or always the long term, but now the short term outlook on Bitcoin is relatively bullish. But guys, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into our news story for today's video, because this is a very big one. I've seen a lot of people talk about this, but this is a really big deal. Binance to stop serving U.S. traders following announcement of U.S. dedicated platform. Major crypto exchange Binance announced today, June 14th, this did come out late yesterday, that it has updated its terms of use, which notably includes a restriction of services to United States-based individuals and corporate traders. The restriction follows yesterday's news that the company is launching a separate fully regulated fiat-to-crypto platform for the U.S. market. Big news coming out to Binance. They are obviously one of the largest, if not the largest, cryptocurrency exchanges leading the industry right now. They've been doing really, really well ever since they launched back in late 2017, I think it was, or early 2018. They're not a very old, it's not a very old exchange, but they are one of the largest, and for good reason. Binance is a very good company, but this is kind of saddening to me, considering that I am a U.S. citizen and I am a user of Binance, and I am not too happy about this, because I'm going to either have to use a VPN or I'm going to have to actually move platforms. And guys, I'm not going to recommend that you use a VPN like some people will. And the reason I'm not going to do that is simply because if you get caught using a VPN, they can do a lot of things to you, like garnish your Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not totally sure on that, but I'm still not going to take the chance. I'm just going to change which exchange I'm using. Guys, this is really unfortunate, but unfortunately, this is due to regulations in the United States. This isn't because Binance hates its biggest market. This is simply because Binance doesn't want to go through the legal trouble of having something go wrong with its market. So guys, reading on here, we can read, while the use of a virtual private network, a VPN, could ostensibly allow U.S. users to circumvent the new restrictions, withdrawals for non-verified users remained capped at 2 Bitcoin per 24 hours, worth $16,482 to press time. That is a whole lot of Bitcoin, and a cap much larger than a very large portion of people are ever going to actually need. You could just withdraw your Bitcoin over the course of a week or two if you have a whole lot of Bitcoin. So you could still use a VPN to go ahead and get access to Binance if that's what you want to do. Like I said, I'm not totally sure what Binance would legally be allowed to do to you if they caught you using a VPN like that. As far as I'm aware, they could actually take your Bitcoin. I might be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Tell me in the comment section down below. It's something that I wouldn't want to risk, though, because I'm not a lawyer and I don't want to read a crazy amount of legalese to try and find that out, because that is something that is going to be hard to find an answer to. Nevertheless, guys, Binance is no longer allowing U.S. users, because they are announcing a fiat to cryptocurrency platform for the U.S. market, and they don't want to go through all the regulation. Something you definitely need to know. One more thing I want to point out is something that has been making its rounds here on the cryptocurrency ecosystem here. This fellow named Danny Knight on Twitter posted a video of Craig Wright saying he remembers reading about Bitcoin, and then he says, that's probably because I wrote it. I'm going to go ahead and play this real quick for you.
how identity worked in Bitcoin. I remember reading it, probably when I wrote it.
That's really funny to hear him say that, because Craig Wright, despite making a patent for Bitcoin, I'm not all that convinced is actually the creator of Bitcoin. Now, maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 cents with him being a complete and total phony. I'm not going to get too much into that because I know there's a lot of you guys that are Bitcoin SV and Craig Wright fans, but that was really funny to hear him say, oh, I remember reading about it, probably because I wrote it. That was a slip-up if I've ever heard one in my life, guys. That was pretty funny. But anyway, guys, I want to go ahead and throw that in here at the end of the video because that is something I saw and that is something I figured you guys would want to see. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to do it for today's video. I do really want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, but before we wrap it up, like I said, I want you to tell me in the comment section down below what you think of the new monitor. Has it changed what the video looks like? Did you even notice a difference before I said anything? How much different does it look? Because I really can't tell, actually, on the monitor that I'm looking at because, you know, I'm looking at it on a different monitor. So if anything has changed in any notable way, if it's gotten better, tell me. If it's gotten worse, tell me. If there's something you think I should change in the color settings, let me know and I will get that fixed for you guys. But before we wrap the video up, guys, I do want to remind you that we are still running that sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. We've had a ton of you guys join lately, and it's really, really humbling to see all of you guys join the course and enjoy the content in here. I get emails all the time from students. I was just talking to someone 2 days ago. I was talking to Andre Lee about the course. He was talking about the VPVR and Nano and whatnot. Like I said, I mentioned that in a previous video. I email people all the time. I had an email from a student yesterday asking me questions about my customer service, and I told them, yes, my customer service consists of you email me and I will respond back to you same day, normally within about an hour of you emailing me, and I will answer any of the questions you have or any of the concerns you have or fix any of the problems that you have, hopefully as quickly as I very possibly can. Sometimes I get the email when I'm driving or whatnot, so I can't do it immediately, but I do have very quick customer service, and I do try to make sure everybody is completely satisfied with what they, with any problems they have. But guys, as I mentioned in previous videos, I'll be brief here, but as I mentioned in previous videos, there is a major bull market coming to Bitcoin, and I want you guys to be prepared for it. I didn't make the course as a money grab. I made the course so that you guys would have a method to actually learn these markets, because it takes a very long time to learn these markets. And if you're getting into the market right now, you don't want to spend the next 6 months to a year learning these markets and learning how to be profitable in these markets, because guess what? In 6 months or a year, guys, in 6 months to a year, guys, the actual bull market is going to be a third or a half over, and you're going to miss a majority of it. And guys, you make the most money at the beginning of the bull market and the end of the previous bear market, not at the end of the bull market. People didn't make a ton of money here, back over here at the end of 2017. The last 6 months in 2017, contrary to what you might believe, no one actually made all that much money. The people that made money were the people that invested and traded down here at like $200 or $300 and held all the way up here and traded all the way up there. Those are the kind of people that made money. There were not as large of gains up here. We're looking at 100, 200% gain on a massive move. But if we look back here on these kind of gains back over here, we're looking at gigantic 10 and 100 and 1,000% gains at the beginning of the bull market. The most money is made at the beginning of the bull market. You don't have time to dilly-dally and wait and spend the next 6 months or a year trying to learn these markets. That's why I made the course. Everything that you could learn in those 6 to 12 months of you trying to learn the markets on your own, you could learn before the weekend's over if you join the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, get access to the 10 hours of content we have in here nearly, the 33 videos we have, and the ever-evolving catalog of course material that I'm always adding to. Like I said, there's a new video coming out in the next couple of days. I don't want to give you an exact date on that because I have a ton of stuff going on in my personal life right now that I'm dealing with, but there should be a video coming on VPVR relatively soon here, as well as a few others. Guys, if you want to get ready for the coming Bitcoin bull market and you want to make the most out of it, I do highly recommend you invest in something like a course or in education so that you know what you're doing and so that you can make the most money out of this course, out of this bull market, excuse me. If you use the coupon code June2019 to join the course is $159. The things that you learn in this course could make you thousands of dollars. So the way I see it is it's an investment with a very high ROI. As I've said in many videos, and as I say in my bio over here, the best investment that one can make is not one in any cryptocurrency. It's not one in Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or stocks or commodities or precious metals or Forex or anything. The best investment that anyone can make is an investment in themselves. Because if you know what you're doing and you know how to make money, then you can make your money make you money. That's a really cool thing. You have your Benjamins having baby Benjamins for you as you're sitting on your as you're driving around like the Hollywood Hills in your Lamborghini with your 24 bookshelves or whatever. Anyway, guys, that's really why I want to talk about today's video was the short-term to near-term future for Bitcoin. I wanted to bring up that news about Binance, and I did want to give you guys your daily update. So tell me in the comments section down below if you enjoyed today's video. Where do you think Bitcoin is headed? Do you agree with my analysis that we're probably moving up to $10,000 relatively soon? And are you buying in for the coming bull market? Are you a member of the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Balance Academy. If you are, tell people in the comment section down below what you think. Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Do you not? Tell us in the comment section down below. Every single person who's ever told me an opinion on the course says they either love it or that they weren't ready for trading, and that they, you know, if they weren't ready for trading, then they weren't ready for trading, so they didn't use it. But if you are actually someone who is interested in learning the cryptocurrency markets, I've never seen anyone complain about the course. They do seem to be greatly enjoying it. So tell us in the comment section down below what you think. Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.